How does the fear of disappointment prevent you from living a beautiful life? I'm Cathy Vartuli from theintimacydojo.com.
I'm Robin Wilson-Beattie from @SexAbled.
I'm Dixie De La Tour, founder and sexual folklorist of the show Bawdy Storytelling.
Hello, I'm Michael Gachet, sex therapist in California at MikeMFT.com.
I'm Dr. Yoni Alkin at elementsofsexuality.com.
So, a lot of us live our lives trying to avoid disappointment. I might be afraid to tell someone no because they might be I'm afraid of disappointing them, or I might be afraid to ask for what I want, or even go places because I don't want to be disappointed by the experience. It can feel devastating when we feel disappointment. But how have you noticed, you work with thousands of people in your show, how have you noticed that fear of disappointment holding them back?
Well, for example, I had somebody come up to me at the end of the show last month, and they said, I pitched you a story, I didn't hear back, I'm sure it wasn't good enough, so I'm sure that I'm not a good storyteller. And I'm like, there's a ton of criteria to fit into a theme. My lineup is full. There are a lot of reasons that maybe you don't get a no, or if you do get a no, you take it personally. A no is just for them. And often I find that I like to, for myself, when I felt disappointed, I always like to go to the 4 agreements and think about, don't take it personally, because there's so many reasons. Like, for example, Yoni was talking about something he'd applied to and hadn't heard back. There's always something that could be going on the other side that is not about you.
The books, the 4 agreements. Yeah.
The 4 agreements, yeah. And you turn it into this, it's about me, and possibly that no has nothing to do with you at all.
Yeah.
And being disappointed is something you decide to do or not to do.
Yeah. How about you, Robin? What have you noticed people holding when you're coaching or working with people?
I talk a lot about disability, but that's my thing. But I have noticed that, especially when it comes to dating, because I know from like my own experience, fear of putting yourself out there, looking for partners or lover, whatever, or being included, and wondering if your disability is going to be a barrier, and if you're going to get disappointed for going out and trying. And it's something that I talk about and teach people about how to work through and what you've learned from it, and and other skills or methods that where you can improve your chances of getting a yes, or finding something that meets your needs. But I mean, I from my own learning experience, I encountered lots of disappointments and doors and walls and ceilings.
Well, if you're facing a fear, something's a little scary anyway, and you get there and maybe there's not accessibility, or you have to, and that would be really hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
So but everybody has different things that they're working with, and you have different ways of approaching it and how to deal with that. And like I said, I don't have all the answers. I'm still learning.
Yeah, but you can learn skills.
I am learning skills.
And role modeling. Other people survive this. I probably thank you for teaching that. Yeah. How about you, Mike?
So I'd like to sort of back it up to the fear of even looking at disappointment, the fear of already knowing disappointment, or reflecting on the times that you were disappointed in the past, and you're not even going to ask. In therapy, when I'm working with a lot of people, they don't really have experiences sometimes to even know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so without that experience, they're already in an anxiety place, they're already in the fear place, and I wonder if sometimes people can look at it as an opportunity to get a no. I'm going to get a no, and that'll be information. That'll be something new to know, either to be able to talk about asking for something else at a different time, ask a different person, or just going in with the idea of like, well, they're going to say no anyways, and I'll succeed that way.
Yeah.
Framing it and like, I'm going to get a no. And if a yes happens, you'll have a little bit better opportunity, but it's a fun way to shift your brain in a way that goes like, I'm going to succeed if I ask 3 people.
I
kind of like
reframing it. And I think what you talked about, like, sometimes we don't even realize we're afraid of disappointment. It's like that fish in water feeling where we I'm trying to look at Mike too, trying to see the screen. We don't even realize we're avoiding things because it's been so much of our life. Like where it's kind of pervasive. We're not even aware we're avoiding it. So yeah, I like that. And I've done that at play parties. Ask for things that you're pretty sure people will say no to, but you'd still like to have happen. Try to get 3 no's, because then you're succeeding with the no's. But
yeah, I want to piggyback on that and say that a no is actually very valuable information. So I try to reframe it in a different way, rather just look at a no as, oh, I now have information that I can work with.
Yes.
I know where I'm going. I know that I'm not going over
there's
there.
a wall there.
Yeah, exactly. So I can go in a different direction. And just not thinking about it as disappointment. Yeah, it's a bummer. Of course, you wanted one thing, you're getting another. That is fine. That's life. But yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
I have something that I started using years ago.
Yeah.
Which is, often you go into something with like today I launched a new project that I'm terrified to put out there in the world, and I don't know how it's going to go.
We're going to be talking about that in just a minute.
It went live like an hour ago, and it could go the way I hope, or it could fall on its face. And my favorite quote, and I want to embroider this on a pillow and put it in my office so I can see it every day, which is, experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. You walk away with new information.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Well, thank you all for sharing with this. I think it's really important, if you can, to look at where you're avoiding things and not handling disappointment well, and get either a coach or some support. Figure out how you can handle it better, because most of us were never given the skills to handle disappointment. We were 3, we didn't get that pony at Christmas, Santa let us down. We feel like our life is over. We learn that disappointment hurts. We feel like we're not lovable or we're a bad person, and we live the rest of our lives handling disappointment in the same way. There are lots of ways we can handle it better. It still hurts sometimes. It still feels awful sometimes, but when we're not hiding and we're living our lives full out, there's full of wonderful things too.
It's true.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Leave questions below. Congratulations on taking this time for yourself and learning these things. If you'd like to follow more of this, you can subscribe to my channel here. Social media is up here, and there's more videos of this type here. See you soon.